All right, I should be able to hear me now. All right, what's going on, y'all? It's been a few weeks. Been busy, and pretty sure a lot of y'all guys want to know what's been going on. 'Cause y'all know that I live in Texas, and we basically got the worst winter of my lifetime. I never seen this much snow. I never seen this much ice, and it was pretty bad. The unpreparedness that we went about, and it's just not that we was unprepared. It's just I kind of felt that the state of Texas failed us, because if we would have known that they was going to, uh, you know, purposely cut people's electricity off just to save that power grid, whatever that crap that they were saying, I would have been better prepared. But then again, I really can't blame them. I should have blamed myself, because there was certain things that I knew I should have purchased a long time ago, just in case we would have got in the situation that we got into. So, of course, last week was it was pretty bad. Been some deaths going on. Matter of fact, some people, I believe in Abilene, Texas, I think there has been reported like 3 deaths, and this man, he froze to death while his wife was holding him. And luckily, the place that I live at is very well insulated. So even though when the temperatures drop into the teens to like the single digits, my thermostat still read between 52 to 56 degrees. That's just how my insulation is in my house. As far as my parents go, they had a lot of damage. Had some broken pipes. The water burst, and their whole entire downstairs, I guess the ceiling part on the from downstairs is all messed up. So they had to get it ripped out, and good thing they haven't house insurance, homeowners insurance. Otherwise, they'd have been out at least 20 grand, because that is a $20,000 job what's about to happen to my parents. And right now, my parents, they are living in a hotel for probably the next 2 to 4 weeks, depends on how long it's going to take them to fix the ceiling. It's been a lot of things that's been going on, and I'm happy that nobody in my family got hurt, injured. It was a blessing that we all made it out alive. It's a blessing that we're still here, still breathing. I'm still here to talk to y'all guys about gaming. I wanted to do a podcast last week, but like I said, last week was it just wasn't a good week for Texas in general. Even in South Texas and Houston and San Antonio, where it's a little bit warmer, they got hit really bad as well. A lot of we were just unprepared. So after this happened, I told my wife we're gonna buy a generator. We're going to buy more candles. Of course, we had some candles. As far as our phones go, we kept our phones well charged, because either I used my car or I used the batteries that I use for my power drills. I got like 4 batteries in power drill, and a little adapter that you attach to it that you could put a USB cord on it. So we was prepared. We always have our phones, and we did watch some TV off our phones. But then again, since I'm with Sprint, I won't even say Sprint no more. I would say T-Mobile, since T-Mobile bought out Sprint. They had a outage, so yeah, it was hell trying to watch TV. Just like download a regular episode of an anime show takes about 30 minutes to an hour. It was that bad, but we got through it, and stuff like this got me thinking that, like, it don't matter how bad you got it, somebody else have it worse, especially living in poor countries, or third world countries, as you call it. But like I say, I told my kids, you better be blessed, because this what y'all went through these past few days. We went through like 36 to 38 hours without electricity. Then the electric, when it turned back off for a couple of hours, then it went back. I guess the day that it fully, stayed on, they turned it off like 4 different times. Then of course it stayed on for the rest of the day and so on. So basically, like I told my kids, you better be grateful for the little things that you have, because little things that you have, a lot of kids in other countries or even in this country don't even have it. So you better be grateful. Like seriously. Kids crying about, they need their electronics, they need their cell phones, this and that. Just look right behind me. These arcades, and you got the Super Nintendo Genesis and the 64, all that right behind me. That's just in my garage. In my house, I got a PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, the Xbox Series X. Kids got their own rooms, their own TVs, their own cell phones. Like, just like I told my kids, you better be grateful for the little things that you had, because a lot of things that my kids have, I didn't even have growing up. I was lucky to have one console growing up. Like, seriously. So, like I say, after this situation, we're just going to be very prepared next time. And I done already discussed this with my wife. We're going to, like I said, luckily we lived in a house that is very well insulated. It was when it hit the single digits, when we didn't have no electricity, our thermostat still read like 54 degrees. And that was awesome. Even though it was still cold. But like I say, people went through worse. My parents, they couldn't even live in there because they had to turn their water off. I had water the whole time. Like, I'm over looking at people just struggling, and like it was bad. It was really bad. And of course, I got an email, and they was like, to help, with your pipe so it won't freeze or bust, just keep your water on. I did keep my water dripping for like about 2-3 days in a row, and I kept it on the hot, so it won't freeze. So, only one of my faucets had frozen, but all the other faucets was pretty good. So we still had water. We had a lot of candles. We had flashlights. We had cell phones. I didn't have to worry about the refrigerator not having electricity because it was cold. It was freezing as hell. So I didn't have to worry about my food, being refrigerated, because it was very frozen. So, like I say, man, I'm thankful, and I guess after that, it's gonna get into the topics. So, all right. So if you here, please hit that like button. Share if you have to. I'll be very appreciative if you share the video. What's up, Dave? What's up, CVL? What's up, Trill? What's up, y'all? Let's get some more people here. So if one of y'all live in Texas, that's in the chat, let me know what was your experience. I know Nia, I think she went through worse than me. I'm not sure. I think her power was off maybe 40 or 50 hours. And one of my cousins that lives probably like, less than 10 minutes away from me, he went 72 hours without electricity. So a lot of people had more worse than us. So I'm not going to sit up here and cry. It's just things like this. We better, not take for granted for the little things that we have. Let's just be better prepared, buy more canned food. Buy a bunch of cans, a bunch of food that, that can last for a while, especially canned goods, food that can last up to 2 to 5 years. Buy, just stock up on a lot of that stuff. Stock up on a lot of water, even though a lot of water is very sparse in the state of Texas, because, our people, they go shopping, they fear shopping. Remember the time with the whole COVID-19 first started, everybody was just, for some reason, went on it was a toilet paper apocalypse. Like, it was just so insane. You got individuals that will buy up the whole entire store of toilet paper and nobody won't say anything about it. It was crazy. So, like I say, I'm just gonna just chill, and like I say, I'm just gonna be better prepared. And like I say, other people has it a lot worse than me. So, yeah, that was something. That was really something. I never experienced this type of temperature in my life in Texas. We talking about Texas, like it's kind of crazy that the temperatures reach all the way down to like 2 degrees. Like, I've never seen temperature that low in Texas in my life. even though it was 2 degrees, but the wind chill was like a negative 12 degrees or something like that. It was so cold. Like, damn. It's just kind of crazy. People up north, they crying. They over there saying that y'all should have been better prepared this, blah, 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 blah. But I kind of felt that they had no room to talk because they are used to that type of weather. So they got, I'm pretty sure majority of them have more generators. They got more candles. They're more prepared because that's the living conditions that they're used to. Those type of conditions that us people that live down south, we're not used to that. Like I say, I can't put all the blame on the state of Texas, even though I do blame them for purposely turning off the electricity. But I feel that some of us should have took some accountability. I'm not saying on the most part, but we should have took some type of accountability for being prepared. Like sometimes people electricity gets cut off. It ain't got to be frozen outside. You got to be better prepared. You got to stock up on water. You got to stock up on some food, some canned goods, whatever, but I just know what to do next time, and I'm just, like I said, I'm happy that my family's safe. My friends are safe. I'm happy, people that I know, I'm happy that they're safe. So all right. So what's up, Jay? What's up, Alan? What's up? Le Burner's Journey. What's up, man? What's up? What y'all talking about? You should have used that switch to start a fire system. Oh wow, that's messed up, man. That's messed up, man. We ain't Ted Cruz in this podcast. Yeah, Ted Cruz, man. He think he's slick what he did, man. It's crazy. It is crazy. I hate. All right. So, what y'all guys been playing, man? Put in the chat what y'all been playing. I guess. What's up, Cherry? I didn't really play much games. Of course, I really didn't play much. I don't think I played at all last week. Maybe a little. What did I play? Of course, majority of last week I didn't play, but I did start on Silent Hill 2. I got the HD collection, Silent Hill 2 and 3. So I started on that one. What else did I play? I didn't really play much. I know, of course, I did beat the medium. I already gave you my thoughts on I think the last podcast. I did play a little bit of my Saturn the other day. I bought some more Saturn games, and I bought a Dreamcast game from a person. I guess the name of his website is like Nightwing Reproductions, something like that. If you are a retro gamer and you want to enjoy the games and you do not want to pay $200, $400 to $1,000 for a ultra rare game, then just hit me up later. I will give you the link to his website. He does a really great job. His stuff is very high quality, and I never had a problem. I think I bought like over 20-something games from this guy, and all of it's been high quality. All my games work, and he's a pretty cool guy. So yeah, I've been dabbling on a little retro lately, and I did bought Mario 3D World. So before y'all start calling me a hypocrite with the whole entire, I'm about to get into the discussion with Nintendo and their pricing and all the ports and stuff, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, I did play that. I guess the last time I had Mario 3D World on the Wii U, we never beat it. For some reason, we never beat it. I normally play that with my wife, and of course, I'm playing with my kids as well too. So I think we're on the 5th world. So we're gonna try to beat the game later on this week, hopefully the weekend, and of course, so we can help him get on Bowser's Fury, because my oldest son is bucking the hell out of me because he he wants to play Bowser's Fury so bad. I said, son, just wait until we finish this and we both can play. Okay, just be patient. Go play your Xbox. Go play the other Mario games. The Mario 3D collection, the one I bought a long time ago, I gave it to my son. I was like, you know what? I hadn't opened it. I had it since it came out. I just gave it to my son for a Christmas gift, and he was very happy. He loves Mario. He loves Mario. I don't know how many times he beat Odyssey. He loves Mario. So I gave him the 3D collection, and yeah, he loved it. So I'm happy to see my son happy for that. So what else did I play besides that? I really can't think of anything else. But anyway, okay, let's go and get to the topic. Okay. So, okay, let's start a little small. Okay. There was I guess with PlayStation, Sony, I guess they went ahead and announced that they are putting Days Gone on PC. I'm not sure it was the exact release date, and I heard that there are going to be more PlayStation games going forward to the PC, PS5 games, and Days Gone is not a PS5 game; it is a PS4 game. So it got me thinking: if Sony is going to start putting more games on PC, like I really thinking that that's going to be the trend going forward. Because let's be honest. I honestly think charging $70 is not a good thing. Because first of all, let's be real. Like Sony has very high quality first party games. I would never take that away from them. I'm a big fan of their games. Like with the Last of Us series, yeah. However you feel about the Last of Us 2, I still enjoyed the game. But the story, that's a different story. But the gameplay mechanics is awesome. One of the best games I played. But yes, that's right. The whole Abby and the story, like that's another discussion, man. Of course, even though Days Gone didn't get a good review, like a 70, 71 Metacritic, I still enjoyed it for what it was. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed Ratchet and Clank. Just basically their first party games in general. God of War, I said that's one of the greatest games I played. And I'm an Xbox dude. Like, let's be real. One of the greatest games I played, it's kind of crazy that it's not even on Xbox. And, okay, well, I guess you could say Halo. Because Halo and Halo 2 on the original Xbox, they're still my greatest Xbox games ever. Microsoft still hadn't topped those. And I really hope that whenever Halo Infinite comes out, I really hope that all the hype that's surrounding the game, I really hope that they earn out the bugs, polish the graphics. I'm glad that they turn around and delayed the game so it can look like a proper ninth generation game. Like, let's just be real. The game looked kind of ugly. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would have still bought it because I'm a fan of the Halo series, and I just the gameplay alone looks good. But I bought a $500 console. I want the highest fidelity as possible. Let's just be real, because I don't want to play no game that looks like it could be an Xbox One game. Because I paid $500 for a new console. I want the results. So I'm glad that they delayed the game. So like just not. It's just not with with Sony just price hiking the games. The industry is moving forward to changing their price from $60 to $70, and I just don't agree. Because just look at the situation that we are in worldwide, not just in the United States of America, worldwide. The pandemic, a lot of people losing their jobs, a lot of people still unemployed. Even though gaming is an expensive hobby, and gaming is the most successful industry in entertainment, I felt that the greed is starting to show. They starting to be a little bit more greedier than I expected. So. This is one of the main reasons why I gamed on my Xbox Series X, because I do not want to continuously and pay $70 for one game. Even though Sony games are very high quality, and I'm not saying it's not worth it, I can afford it myself. But an average gamer, no, they will wait until they get a price drop. And one thing about Sony, you will get a price drop when it comes to Sony. And yeah, we about to get into the other topic with Nintendo. But Game Pass is the greatest gift to us gamers to ever grace the gaming industry, because I play so many games that is so good, so many indie games that was good. Little Nightmares, I was introduced to Little Nightmare because I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, there's a Little Nightmares 2 that's about to come out. It's out now. I was like, okay, let me try out Little Nightmare. So I played it. I loved it. That is a awesome game. So I started playing other indie games on Game Pass, Dang, what's the name of that game? I'm trying to remember. Indivisible. Yeah, that's an awesome game as well. I think it's not on Game Pass. I think they just took it off, but it is on sale. I think it is. And there was another one. I'm trying to. Damn, I play so many indie games. It's just kind of hard to remember all of them. It's another indie game that kind of remind you of Ninja Gaiden or something like that. But that game was so high quality and it had so much nostalgia behind it, and I loved it. If I could remember, the Messenger. That's the name of it. That's like one. That's probably my greatest indie game I played. I love the Messenger, and I guess at the end of the game, it made it seem like there's going to be a sequel. So I'm very excited about it, and it's just so many indie games. And of course, you got the EA Play. I've been playing the Star Wars Jedi. Was it Jedi something? Whatever. So it's a lot of great games on Game Pass, and of course, Dragon Quest 11. Been playing that. That's the definitive version. Of course, I not too long ago beat Yakuza Kiami. I think that's how you pronounce it, Kiami. And I just started on Kiami 2. And there's so many damn Yakuza games. I'm just so overwhelmed with Game Pass games, like really good, high quality Game Pass games. Like I don't think who can compete with that. Even though I'm very excited for both of my consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, but it's just so many Game Pass games that I hadn't played that I'm enjoying. So that's why I just been married to the Xbox lately. And whatever the next PlayStation exclusives come out, that's when I'm gonna get back on my PS5. And I believe Ratchet and Clank got a release date, but I think it's coming out like around May or June, something like that. And I was a little disappointed, and it didn't surprise me because a lot of games got delayed. Even though they said God of War is supposed to come out this year, we still hadn't seen a snippet of. We hadn't seen no gameplay. So it got me thinking: is this game really coming out this year? Because that's a game that I really think that's going to be delayed. A lot of games. I believe that this whole pandemic and all this stuff that's going on, and the lack of quantity of these consoles. I think that's what's pushing. I think that's why it's causing a game delay, because Microsoft and especially Sony, they don't want to launch a lot of their first party games, and we already know a lot of their first party games are very high quality. So they don't want to launch it, and they don't have enough systems out there because we got the whole entire the scalping situation going on. And I believe in the UK, I think they passed a law of scalping. They making it illegal. So that's another video, because I got, it's like, I'm glad that they stopping the scalping, but at the same time, it's like they're taking their rights away, because let's just say that it happened over here. They passed legislation that we can't even sell our stuff. I use Craigslist sometimes. I use eBay sometimes. Like, I like to sell my stuff. I don't want the government to get involved, but it got so bad that they have to get involved because these companies is not making enough money. Because it's like, some people, they say that, okay, why is Sony and Microsoft so worried about their games getting scalped? Like, their consoles is still getting bought, but y'all got to remember, they don't get that much profit per console sold. They're more worried about the numbers of subscribers that subscribe to the PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live. It's about the subscriptions. It's about the ongoing monetization. When it comes to these games, they want to make sure that they're getting your money on a monthly basis, on the yearly basis, using their subscriptions. Right now, Microsoft, they're worrying about their Game Pass numbers, and of course, PlayStation's worried about their PlayStation Online numbers. Like I say, these consoles are getting sold at a loss, so they're not making no money per console, so they're losing. So that's why they need gamers to buy their software and buy their subscription services. That's how they make that money. So that's why the government had to get involved in the UK. So that's probably why that some of these Sony games is getting delayed, because of this scalping stuff. You got the stuff that's going on with the graphics card and all that. I guess they're not pushing enough of these graphics cards out. I guess for these consoles, and it's a mess, man. It's a mess. That's why I said last year that I think possibly that should have been delayed because I feel that there's not enough games that's available that's ready. Even though the PlayStation 5 had more exclusives during the launch, but then again, I wouldn't even say enough exclusives because a lot of games you could play on PS4, like Miles Morales. What else? There was another one. The only exclusives that I know that's exclusive to PS5 is Demon Souls Remade and Astrobot. Those are the only exclusives for the PS5. Everything else you can play on the PS4. So if you think about it, as far as the exclusive on the PS5, it's kind of bare bones because Demon Souls is kind of a niche title. It's not that. I'm not saying it has a huge fan base, but it's kind of a niche fan base. Same with Astrobot. It's a platformer, and PlayStation gamers, they're more attractive to like an action adventure game, like a not Bloodborne, like a Uncharted or The Last of Us or Spider-Man. They're more attractive to that. Even though they did get a Spider-Man game, Miles Morales, but like I say, it's not exclusive on the PS5. It's on the PS4 as well. And of course, Halo Infinite got delayed. That's coming out. We don't know. We didn't get no release dates. Could probably be next holiday. But I want them to take their time because I want this to be the greatest Halo game I played. But anyway, what y'all got in the chat before I get to the Nintendo stuff? What's up, Scott? What else? What's up? I don't know if I got to you, Cherry. What's up, Cherry? I'm not sure if I called your name out. L Burner's Journey. L Burners. Somebody's a Bone Thugs fan. L Burner. There's only one rapper that calls himself L Burner. That's Lazy Bone. So yeah, okay. I guess back to the whole $70 thing. I'm not a big fan, and there's no stopping it, and we just got to get used to it. And it sucks. It really do suck, and that's why Game Pass is the future. Will Nintendo and PlayStation follow right behind Nintendo? I really don't know. I really don't know. It seems like PlayStation is slowly trying to do something because they got the was it PlayStation Plus collection? I think there's like 15 to 20 games or something like that, like PS4 games you can play for free. Well, you got to have the PlayStation Plus in order to play those games. But it seems like Sony is slowly trying to do something to sort of compete with Game Pass, but it's really not competing with Game Pass because Game Pass has so much variety to choose from. It is so much to choose from. So, and plus, when it comes to PlayStation games and Nintendo games, their game sells, because their games are high quality and their games are good and it sells. It really does. Their games sell like 10 plus million. With the Switch, the Switch be selling like 20 plus million. Like what Smash Bros. Sold 20 plus million. Zelda Breath of the Wild sold 20 plus million. Mario Kart 8 and Animal Crossing sold 20 plus million. And I think Mario Odyssey is at 20 plus. If it's not 20, it's almost at 20. So they got like about 5 or 6 games at 20 plus million. That is crazy for a first party game. Like, that tells you why Nintendo holds their games very valuable. That tells you why they don't really do price drops, because they know it's going to sell. It kind of sucks because a lot of us think there would be a price drop, especially if the game's been out for years. But let's go ahead and discuss this with the Nintendo pricing. I've never been a big fan of that. Like, if the game been out for some time, let's say at least a year, you got to at least do some type of price drop. I know Nintendo hold their games to a higher standard than every other game, but like keeping a $60 price tag on a game that's been out 4+ years, it's kind of insane. Like, the only time Nintendo does a price drop is that when there's like when they do like their Nintendo Selects and their game, those games be like priced between $20 or $30 or something like that. And that's I like that. But they normally do that every generation, but it'd be a very select few of Nintendo titles. Not all of them, but a very select few. Will we get that this generation? I don't think we will, because the Switch is probably their most successful console. It's going to surpass the Wii pretty soon. It's going to surpass the Wii pretty soon. And of course, the Switch is more of a hardcore console than the Wii. So of course, there's going to be more software. So I'm not sure what the number is, but I'm pretty sure the software is damn near identical to the Wii, or it's either close or it's past the Wii. Of course, the sales figure, I believe that the Switch is going to surpass the Wii in sales probably within a year, maybe less than a year, because it just keeps selling. And this is probably why Nintendo is not thinking about doing a Switch Pro. I honestly think it's time for Switch Pro, because this coming March, I think next couple of weeks, whatever, the Switch is about to turn 4 years old. And of course, let's just be real, the hardware is very dated, very dated. The PS4 is an 8th-gen console, and it's still more powerful than the Switch. Like, I understand that Nintendo is doing their own thing, but let's be real. 60 frames per second is next gen. Let's be real. I wanted to play Hyrule Warriors, the Age of Calamity, so bad because I'm a fan of Zelda, and it looks good. But I can't play it because of those frame rates look so god awful, man. Like, it's crazy. I know people be like, oh, in that case, just play on PC if you want those 60 frames, whatever. But I told y'all, like, yes, I like frame rates, but I would like to have, good frame rates on my console, because I'm a majority of a console gamer. And that's why I'm a big fan of the new generation consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because we get in steady 60 frames per second on these games. Except Watch Dogs. I don't know why they lock that game at 30 frames. I don't know why they did that. But 60 frames is the future. 60 frames and up. And that's why I feel that Nintendo should come out with another console that at least, get 60 frames. We need a better CPU. We need a better CPU. As far as the GPU, I don't care about 4K when it comes to Nintendo games, because Nintendo first-party games always look good. Like, I don't care if you do 1080p, 1440. As far as 4K, I doubt Nintendo would do that. Just give me a nice looking console with good games, good frame rate, because that is one of the most important things is frame rate. Like, I need to have a steady frame rate when I'm playing these games. So, okay, let's get back to the pricing. The pricing with Nintendo has always been that way, and it kind of reminds me of retro shopping. I'm a retro collector. I hadn't been a hardcore collector in a minute because, a lot of things happened, the COVID thing, me being unemployed and this and that. I had a really decent collection last year or a year and a half before I sold most of my collection because, things turned south, with the pandemic. Lost my job, and, it got to a point that I had to give up a lot of my collection. Somebody bought it for I think 2 different people bought some of my collection, but I think I got a total of like $7,000, something like that. And, it might not, $7,000, that's kind of a good chunk of money. But at the same time, I was heartbroken because I wanted to keep my stuff. I wanted to keep my stuff because this is my childhood. So a lot of these games I hadn't owned because, when you was a kid, like you always want, all the consoles, but due to the limitations of your family's finance, you had to, he had to pick one over the other. And that's why when I grew up, I wanted to, start retro collecting. I wanted to get the things that I couldn't afford, that my family couldn't afford when I was a kid. So that's why I started doing that. I'm slowly doing it right now. But right now, when it comes to the Saturn and Dreamcast, I'm getting some repros on some of those games because I refuse to pay $200 to $1,000 for a game. I refuse to do that. I refuse to do it. I did it before I sold my collection because I did bought some games that was around that range, like Power Stone 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because that went up in price. Like Panzer Dragoon, that went up in price. Like a lot of these games that I bought on the Dreamcast and the Saturn range between $100 to $200, and right now, it price range from $100 to like $300 to $400 because a lot of those games that I sold, the value had went up dramatically. So the $7,000 that I got from that person, He really got a big deal, a good deal from me, because a lot of those games that he bought from me is worth a lot more than what I sold it to him. So that's why I was sick, even though I needed the money at that time. But I knew for a fact that whenever I sold them games, the value was going to increase. And with the whole pandemic and all that, gaming was a really big hobby, because a lot of people need something to do. When people was quarantined, when they was staying indoors, they needed something to play. So, gaming was very, very, very popular during these times. Very popular. It's always been popular, but gaming has been popular more than ever. And by it being popular more than ever, it drove the demand for a lot of these games, and the prices of these retro games has skyrocketed. And that sucked. It sucked for the retro collectors, and it really does. So back to the pricing with Nintendo. And this whole Skyward Sword situation. I don't want to talk about the Nintendo Direct, because to me, it was underwhelming. It's just when you did a Nintendo Direct in almost 2 years, what was it, a year and a half? You expect something really big. And yes, their biggest announcement was Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2. Because your last announcement is always that big project, or that big announcement that we didn't expect. That was unexpected. We didn't think anything about another Splatoon game until like maybe the next generation Nintendo Switch. And one thing about Splatoon, Nintendo, they is treating Splatoon like it's their top tier games now. So it sucks, especially you Metroid fans. Oh, man, you Metroid fans out there, man. I know the feeling on how Nintendo is treating Metroid. It's not good at all, man. It is not good. A lot of us was expecting the whole Bayonetta 3 reveal, but I kind of figured that we wasn't going to get no information, because I forgot the name of that director. I'm not sure if it's Hideki or something, the director of Bayonetta. He told us to forget that, that it's coming out for the Switch. He said it's still coming, but he said forget it, because from what he's saying, it's still going to take some time for it to come out. So this is why these companies, they shouldn't be giving us no type of teaser, especially if the games is like 3-4 years down the line. So basically, I think it was like 2 or 2.5 years ago when Reggie Fils-Aimé came on stage during the Game Awards, and he basically gave us an announcement about, of course, Bayonetta 3 was, and that was it. We got a logo that was 2+ years ago and nothing. A game like Bayonetta, it shouldn't take long to develop. I would say between the 2 to 3 year gap for a game like that to be developed. And it's been over 2 years. You would think we'd have got some type of trailer, some type of gameplay, but I honestly think that Nintendo is holding back Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4 for the next Nintendo system. That's what I'm thinking. And the way the Switch is selling, I really feel that Nintendo's holding back because of the new console. It sucks. It really does suck, because I felt that these past couple of years, Nintendo has been banking on a lot of their Wii U ports and just a lot of old ports. And I said this a long time ago on my channel. I don't have problems with remasters. I don't have problems with ports. But if these games that we done already played a while ago, if it outnumbers the new games, then I have a huge problem. And right now I have a huge problem, because the ports that we getting from the Wii U and the Wii is outnumbering the new first party games that I expected on my Nintendo Switch. Like, let's just be real. And like, it kind of sucks, but Nintendo is looking at, what's the smart thing to do. And the smart thing to do is to get a lot of their high quality games from their previous systems like the Wii and the Wii U, and put put it on their most successful console, the Switch. And I think that it was a good thing. It's a good business move. But at the same time, it's kind of an anti-consumer move at the same time, because you're alienating your fan base that bought the Wii, and you're alienating your fan base that bought the Wii U. But as far as Skyward Sword goes, I feel that it was justified for them to put this game onto the Switch, because I'm a huge fan of Skyward Sword. I know Skyward Sword is probably the most controversial Zelda game because of the forced motion controls that they put on the game, in which I think that was not a good idea. Putting that game on the last year of the Wii's life cycle. Matter of fact, the Wii was already dead around that time before they released the game. But a game like Skyward Sword should have came out earlier, or at least ported over to the Wii U. That game should have been not only on the Wii, it should have been ported over to the Wii U, because the game was so good. And of course, they shouldn't have forced the motion controls on us, and that's why a lot of people didn't play it, because they just got burnt out on the Wii. They was like, okay, it was fun while it lasted, but I want to go back to the traditional gaming. I'm not about that motion control stuff. It was just a fad, like it is what it is. But I am glad that they are bringing Skyward Sword to the Switch. I'm glad they are, giving us an option to either play motion controls or play with the buttons. Even though I was a fan of the motion controls. I liked it. I really did. But would I do it right now? When I do buy, I will buy it for the Switch, because I'm a huge fan of that game. No, probably not. I'll probably just try out the button layout, because I'm not into the motion controls no more. I think I grew up from that, like like seriously. But as far as the pricing goes with that game, sometimes Nintendo can go overboard with their pricing, because Skyward Sword for the Wii was $50. Their standard games for the Wii was $50, and of course they raising it $10 more, and basically for $10 more we are getting an HD paint, but they're not fixing the textures. They're not basically. They're really not remastering the game. It's just an HD game. They just put it in HD. There should be some texture fixes. There should be some extra stuff to the game. Maybe they might put a separate story alongside with Skyward Sword, like they did with Super Mario 3D World. Remember they added the Bowser's Furies, like an extra campaign. I believe it's like 4 to 5 hours. That's cool. I thought it was justified when they put that game from the Wii U to the Switch. I am a big fan of 3D World, and yes, I like 3D World, and I like the fact that they add extra content. So I was like, okay, that's cool and everything. But the problem with this is the fact that Nintendo is banking on their old games that we did not play a long time ago, instead of giving us new games. I feel that it's very underwhelming. Like, the only first-party game that I know that's new from Nintendo, I'm not talking about third parties, because I only buy Nintendo consoles for their games in general. Mario Golf. Sometimes Nintendo, I don't know. I really don't know about Nintendo. Like, their fan base literally telling them what they want, and they give us things that we never asked for. I'm not a fan of Mario. I never played the Mario Golf series. Some people are fans of Mario Golf. But I feel that if they wanted to bring over ports and stuff, I feel that Metroid Trilogy needs the exposure that it deserves. Like, we already know about the Metroid Prime, for they restarted the game like a year and a half ago. But if you want people to get back into the Metroid series to understand what the series is about, then you need to go ahead and release the collection. Put it in the HD. I think it will sell well. It seemed like all the games that was on previous consoles now on the Switch is doing a lot better. Like Xenoblade. Xenoblade barely touched 500,000 on Wii. The Wii had over 100 million install base, but it barely reached 500,000. That was a high quality game. rated very, very high as well too. Now they ported Xenoblade to the Switch, and Xenoblade already sold over 1 million copies. And people think, at one point Xenoblade was looked at as a niche genre, a niche game, but the sales with Xenoblade 2 already eclipsed 2 million copies. So that tells you that there is an audience out there, and Nintendo is doing right by giving a lot of their games that's very high quality, giving a second go around, because I felt that a game like Xenoblade, a game like Zelda Skyward Sword was released at a bad time, because let's be real, that game only mostly catered towards the casual gamers, and a lot of casual gamers was older people. Like, let's just be real. Older, like, when I say older people, I'm not talking about 30, 40, 50 years old. I'm talking about people from nursing homes was playing this. Like, every nursing home everywhere that you think of had a Wii. So that tells you who that console was catering towards. So yes, I believe that Skyward Sword will sell at least double. I think it sold about 4 million copies on the Wii, but a game that high quality should at least sell at least 10 million. So I really believe Skyward Sword will sell between 8 to 10 million easily on the Switch. So I'm glad that's getting exposure. I'm glad Xenoblade got exposure. But like I said a while ago, where's the new games? Where is Mario Kart 9? You banked off of Mario Kart 8 for a long time. Mario Kart 8 been out for since 2014, something like that? That's a long time. I think it's time for a new Mario Kart. Like, as far as Super Smash Brothers, yes, that was a new game. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, that was a new game. Is it a new game, or is it because it's still like the same from the Smash Brothers from the Wii U, but we got a lot more characters. But then again, I will say Smash Bros. Ultimate is more of a new game than Mario Kart 8, even though they're both was on the Wii U. But Smash Bros. Got a lot more content, and characters than Mario Kart 8. So I feel that Nintendo is, like I said a while ago, banking off of their older games on the Wii U. So so Mario Kart 8 came from the Wii U. Super Mario 3D World, Pikmin 3. What else? What's that? Tokyo Mirage Sessions, whatever. I don't know if anybody played that. That came from the Wii U. Pokken Tournament came from the Wii U. Zelda Breath of the Wild, like, that's really a Wii U port, so I'm not gonna count that. It's really a whatever. I'm gonna just leave it alone. Xenoblade Chronicles came from the Wii. Skyward Sword came from the Wii. That's 7. What I'm missing? There's a lot more that came from the Wii U. New Super Mario Brothers U that came from the Wii U as well. What else? What else came from the Wii U? Y'all help me out. What else came from the Wii U? I'm getting some brain fart. Damn. What else came from? Bayonetta 2. The Bayonetta 2 came from the Wii U. Bayonetta 2. Hyrule Warriors came from the Wii U. I'm at 10 games right now. That came from the Wii U. Damn. What else? All I can think of is I'm at 10. I know there's more. I just can't think of. If y'all can help me out, let me know. Oh yeah, Tropical Freeze. Thank you. That's 11. Tropical Freeze, and that's another IP Nintendo is refusing to do anything. Tropical Freeze, like, of course, Mr. T, he's been on Nintendo's ass about Tropical Freeze. Like, the price of Tropical Freeze was $50 on the Wii U, and they managed to squeeze more money out of the consumers, pricing it at $60 for the Switch. Like, that is insane. I don't understand why Nintendo keeps doing that type of stuff. This is why we need competition. We need more than 3 consoles. You know how people say that exclusives is anti-consumer? Like, there is always a debate on whether exclusives is anti-consumer, because what happened if there is only one console? What happened? We're going to have another Nintendo situation during the 80s. Remember, Nintendo was monopolizing things, doing some shady practices, and A lot of stuff that they did in the past is still affecting them right now because they kind of burned some bridges with some third-party companies. So that's why you do not want one company monopolizing the gaming, industry. We do not want that ever again. So that's one thing why you want exclusives. Yes, it will be cheaper for people to only have one console. If you want, especially if you like games like Mario, Last of Us, and Halo. Yes, some people they would love to play that on one console, but if you look, just think about what you're asking for. If you want that on one console, if that comes from to fruition, like you won't get deals like Game Pass. You won't get these really great deals because how can you get these companies to give you great deals? They have to cater toward the consumer so you can take business away from the competitors. And in that way, the competitors from both sides, all three sides, well, I won't say all three sides because Nintendo, they don't do no damn good deals. The competitors from Sony and Microsoft, they're going to do whatever they can to get them your money. That's what they want. So that's why you're going to get all these good deals coming from them because they want your money. Nintendo, on the other hand, is different. They want to stay in their own lane, but the pricing, I'm not a big fan. A lot of times, I wait a lot of times when some of these mom and pop stores or GameStop, I wait until they have those deals like buy two, get one free type of stuff, the pre-owns. GameStop was doing it for a minute. Then I think sometime last year they stopped doing it. They were still doing the buy two, get one free for PlayStation and Sony, but they no longer do it with the Switch because there's so much value with Nintendo's games that's priced at $60. They're not going to do that because they feel that they're losing more money if they do that. So that right there tells you Nintendo value their stuff way more than Sony and Microsoft. Do I feel like it should be valued like them? No, I think everything should be the same. Like, I'm not saying that Nintendo needs to, give a big old price drop to like $20. Like, I feel that if you want your consumers to continuously and support you, you need to do pro-consumer practices sometimes. Yes, we know Breath of the Wild is the highest selling Zelda game ever, sold over 20 million. Like, you got your money, Nintendo. You got your money. Now, if you want more people to play some of your older games that came out the first year when the Switch came out, give some discounts. Do a Nintendo Select. If you don't want to price your games at $20, at least do $30. Do $30. Show your appreciation towards the customers. That's all I'm saying. Do some Nintendo Selects on Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2. Like those games came out the first year. They all sold well over 10 plus million. Like, come on. That's what I'm saying. But when you continuously keep these games at that $60 price tag, this is why people is having that discussion about is keeping your price at $60 anti-consumer. Like I'm not gonna be in that talk like a fanboy, be like Nintendo is the greatest of all time. Their values is always 60 plus, because their game is better than Microsoft and Sony. Like, I'm not down with that shit, man. I'm not down with that tribalism. That's a problem. A lot of us with that tribalism crap, a lot of us, we continuously and keep throwing our money towards Nintendo, knowing that they don't deserve our money. And yes, even though I do got some Nintendo games, but like I told y'all a while ago, I get some of those stuff off of some good deals. I go to mom and pop store, wait till the game go, to like $30-$40 and I get it. Or I go to GameStop and buy for pre-owned for $55. Every pre-owned Nintendo Switch at GameStop is $55 freaking dollars. You can't make this shit up, man. It sucks. It really sucks. Oh, okay, Captain Toad. Okay, thank you for telling me that one. So that's 12. That's 12. That is 12. That's crazy, guys. That is crazy. So, as far as the Nintendo first parties I could think of that's new this generation is Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, I guess Mario Tennis if y'all play that. Kirby and Yoshi if you want to count those. I'm at 5. Luigi's Mansion, in which I did enjoy. The Paper Mario, I'm at 7. I'm not gonna count Pokemon because that's really a Game Freak game. I'm talking about Nintendo developed game. So I'm at 7. I'm at 7. What else? Oh, Animal Crossing, that's 8. Xenoblade 2, that's 9. I'm at 9. Xenoblade 2. Damn, what I'm missing? What am I missing? I'm at the go back. Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Mario Tennis, Luigi's Mansion 2, at 3, Animal Crossing, Xenoblade 2, Paper Mario. I'm at 8. Paper Mario. What am I missing, guys? I'm at 8. Paper Mario. Oh, yeah, Kirby and Yoshi. I'm at 10. Kirby and Yoshi, I'm at 10. Is there anything else from Nintendo? First party Nintendo? Because right now I'm at 10. I'm not gonna count Hyrule Warriors because that's a Koei Tecmo game. I'm at 10. I'm at 10 new first party Nintendo games this generation versus 12 ports from the previous systems. So please tell me that there are more Nintendo first party games new that was from the Switch and not from other previous consoles. Can anybody think of anything? Astro Chain is that's not a Nintendo first party game. That's what's the name? The Benetta people. God dang it, I can't even think of it. A Platinum game. That's Platinum Games. That's Platinum. I'm talking about Nintendo developed games. Okay, Fire Emblem. Okay, I didn't play that one. Okay, I forgot about that one. Oh, so that's 11. So 12 ports versus 11 new games. So can we get a tie? So it seems like the ports are still winning. Okay, 12 arms. Okay, 12 arms. Nobody play that shit. So we are a tie. Can we break the tie? Can we break the tie? Anybody can think of anything else? So right now we 12 and 12. Anything else? That's Koei Tecmo, Scott. That's Koei Tecmo game. That's why I didn't count that. I'm talking about Nintendo 1-2 Switch. Oh, ew, that. Do you want to count that? Like, ew. Okay. 1-2 Switch and Super Mario Party. Okay. So 14 Nintendo games plus 12 ports. Okay. But either way it go, I still say I'm looking at the ratio, man. There's barely more new games than ports. Just think about if Nintendo wasn't, just think about if they wasn't trying to bank on their ports. Just think about that they want to put out as many new games as possible. Those 12 ports that we received from the previous consoles, that could have been another Kid Icarus game. That could have been another Donkey Kong game, in which it's been a long time since we got a Donkey Kong game. That could have been another Wave Race, in which a lot of y'all asked for. That could have been another, God dang, I forgot the name of that game. Captain Falcon. What's the name of that damn game? F-Zero. Okay, that could have been another F-Zero. That could have been another Star Fox. That could have been, like what that could have been other games that Nintendo hadn't really, another IP that they hadn't dabbled in a long time. What's going on? What happened to Eternal Darkness? Why did they? I really don't understand why they keep on renewing the license to that game and they're not going to do anything to it. I really don't understand. You said Nintendo Switch, aka rebranded Wii U. You said Mario Golf is coming. Yeah, I've never been to the Mario Golf. I'm really just going by as far as like the hardcore, top tier, first party games. You know, even though sales wise, Metroid don't sell as much as Mario and Zelda, but it is still a top tier to me, even though the sales is more of a B to C tier. But I'm looking at the quality of Metroid, and I like Metroid. They could have did a Samus Return in HD put on the Switch. I would have been happy. Like I don't understand why they keep doing Metroid like this, man. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I said this a long time ago that these games will sell the most on the Switch. A long time ago, from the moment that the Switch was announced, I said that all these games, is going to break records. Zelda broke records. Splatoon broke records. Animal Crossing broke records. Xenoblade broke records. Fire Emblem broke records. From the previous generation, from 360, all these ports that's coming to the Switch.